All right, so we are doing Skill Builder Amelia Earhart. So our objectives today are, I can investigate the life of Amelia Earhart, a famous woman in the U.S. history. I can also consider what it means to have a legacy and why Amelia Earhart's story is still important today. And then I can also think about what your dreams are and who inspires you. Okay? So let's warm up. You ready?
I clicked it. It's loading.
All right, so here, name a famous figure in U.S. history. What did they do to make them famous? Okay, so you get to type at the bottom. So someone who is famous that changed our history. Go ahead and type a person in. It doesn't matter what your spelling is. Just make sure that you just type it. Yes, you're gonna press the white little box on there, and you're gonna post. No, you're not doing microphone. You're typing. So no microphone. I want to see what you know.
What do we have to do on that?
So the question is, that's okay. I can redo the question. So the question says, name a famous figure in U.S. history. What did they do to make them famous? So anybody who is famous in our U.S. history. So someone in our history. We learned about a couple of famous people already.
YouTube people too?
Not YouTube people, only people like our presidents or famous leaders in our U.S. history. Who's some of our leaders? There's one on the board that we learned about this week too. Yes, that could be one. Remember, you can use. Try your best. Yes, you're going to click post when you're finished. Yes, it can. That's a famous. All right, so Mackenzie has posted one person already. All right, so I'm going to put a timer on for a minute. You only have a minute, so you need. So if we don't do it in a minute, we have to move on.
No, I'm getting a move.
All right, so Miss Bullington has the timer.
Aaliyah sent one.
Okay. Oh, there's the several people that did.
No, I spelled mine.
What was it for?
I sent one. Mine was. Okay, how do I post it? You just press the post.
You press the blue button, baby.
Can we heart them? Whoa.
Yes, you can heart them. So we have Rosa Parks, Abraham Lincoln, Martin Luther King, W.E.B. Du Bois. Those are good ones. So I'm going to go over here and start hearting all of these.
I spelled mine.
That's okay. Remember, Miss Fullington is still recording, so make sure your voices are off. Bella, make sure your voices are off.
I'm working everybody's because I have some like.
All right, that's 1 minute, so we got to stop. All right, we're going to move on. Good job, guys. Y'all did awesome. All right, think, pair, share. So it says here, a legacy is something we inherit from the past generations. That means that it gets passed down to us. So it says here, it refers to someone's actions or work that continues to have an impact or an effect in the future. Do you think having a legacy is a good or bad thing? So go ahead and share with your neighbors. So Harlow, you can share with Bella too, because they're your neighbors too. Or you can share with Maddox. So do you think having a legacy is a good or bad thing? Legacy is like leaving something so good, so great in history.
great-great-great-grandma. It's very special. And it was in the past. It was like a lighter thing. It's like the old thing.
So it's very special?
Like, yeah, and then it makes fire when darkness comes. I think it's good.
Why do you think it's good? All right, so class.
Yes.
Waterfall. All right, so Mackenzie, what do you think having a legacy is a good or bad thing?
Good.
Why do you think it's good? Remember, having a legacy means leaving something special or great. So behind for your generations.
I know what it is.
So if Abraham Lincoln left his legacy of being a great leader, remember he was a great president, do you think being a legacy is a good or bad thing? Christopher?
Bad.
You think it's bad? Why do you think it's bad? It's okay. We're still learning about this word. It's a big word.
It is bad.
Why do you think it's bad? Leaving a legacy.
Because it's something that's special and unique.
So it's bad if you leave something special behind for your family to enjoy? So if Abraham Lincoln was a leader of freedom, right? That's his legacy he left. Do you think that was a good or bad thing?
Good.
So legacy means leaving a good thing, right?
Yeah. Like if you leave something behind, like somebody else will come get it.
Yes.
And then they will raise it up as a good person.
Exactly. And they'll keep passing it down. So legacy is a very good thing. And that's okay if we got it wrong because we didn't really know that word. It's a very hard word to understand.
For generations.
Yes.
But that picture so maybe.
Yeah. All right. So let's practice. Are you ready? All right. So today it says we are going to explore the life of Amelia Earhart, a famous pilot in the United States. She was one of the first women in the United States to have a pilot's license and broke many records. It says, as you learn about her life, consider her impact on the future of generations of women and pilots. So she left a pretty big legacy for pilots and for women. Yeah, so let's listen. Here's Amelia Earhart when she was little in 1897 and in 1937. It says Amelia Earhart was born in Atchison, Kansas in 1897. She spent her childhood in Kansas, Minnesota, and Illinois. In 1920, she took her first airplane ride. Flying lessons. She loved flying and began taking flying lessons at the time women pilots were very unusual. When Amelia earned her pilot's license in 1923, she became the 16th woman in the United States to have her license to fly. There was only 16 women. So that was only a low number. Now we have many, right? Number 3, breaking records. In 1928, Amelia was the first woman to fly across the Atlantic. She flew with another pilot, William Shorts. Amelia became very famous for this flight. When she came back to America, she was honored with parades and met President Coolidge. So that was the president back then. Number 4, flying solo. In 1932, Amelia flew across the Atlantic again, this time by herself. She was the first woman to fly alone or solo across the Atlantic. For this time, Amelia received the Distinguished Flying Cross from Congress, the first woman to receive this honor. So what was the award called? Distinguished Flying Cross from Congress. So Distinguished Flying Cross. So she got a cross, probably what it looks like, and it's like a pin for her award for flying by herself.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
So it says Amelia broke many records for distance and speed. So make sure that we
Which one are you on? She's on number 4.
She was the first person to do many things, such as fly from Hawaii to California.
That's far.
Oh.
Quiz.
All right, so yes, there's a quiz. There's a mini quiz. So click on the word quiz. right, so now you're going to do the quiz. Try your best.
We didn't read all of it.
Try your best.
Can we look back to the story? What did they just say when she's born? Can you read that question?
Okay, so after the quiz, here we are. So it says imagine and discover. Amelia's life is an inspiration to many people. She was one of the first female pilots in the United States. She broke many records. Maybe you have dreams of following in the same footsteps. Maybe you have dreams of doing something else. Have you thought about what you want to do when you are older?
I know what I want to do to be famous.
All right, so it says, what are your dreams? What do you want to do and who inspired you? Draw or write your answer below. So you can either draw a picture or you can write your answer.
Hey, there's this rainbow color. I have to write my answer.
All right, so let's reflect. How might Amelia Earhart have influenced other pilots who came after her? How did she make a difference with the pilots today? What do you think she might have done to help them become better pilots today? So you need to put that down in your answer. You're supposed to type your answer. Aaliyah, you have to read the question for you right here, baby, okay? Yes, press submit when you are finished. How might Amelia Earhart have influenced other pilots who came after her? So guys, remember Miss Fullington said no microphones. You are typing your answer in. So how might she made pilots better pilots today? Do you think she taught them?
Yes.
Is she alive?
No, I don't know.
No, so what could she have done to maybe teach them? Could they have done what is she's in what now?
A book.
She's in books and stories. So maybe she has her journals, right? Maybe she has taught them that way. She read the books, maybe. They may have read books.
I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot how to spell
She?
Yeah.
S.
I know.
Okay. Think about it. She did read a book. She was an author. That was a good job.
I know how to spell read, but not.
So Mackenzie, focus.
Alright, submit it.
Okay. Oh, I see her. She read books. She made books, right? She didn't read them. She made them. Remember, she's an author. An author writes books. All right, so that is it for today, guys, and I hope you have a good day. There is no activity, I believe, in Seesaw, and you have a good Friday, and please study your spelling words for reading.